What's going on YouTube? Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about this newly revealed basketball, 3D printed airless prototype basketball by Wilson. So this ball was first unveiled during the All-Star weekend, during the slam dunk competition. And the first player who was able to test it was KJ Martin from Houston Rockets. All right, the dunk was okay. Yeah, that's why he didn't win. So Wilson been working on this basketball for the past few years, and Dr. Nadine Lipper and her team been working hard on this, and their goal is to not have any air in the basketball. So the problem with our traditional basketball is there's air leakage, right? So throughout these years, decades, basketball company been trying to tweak or make adjustment or come up with a solution to minimize the air leakage. But overall they couldn't eliminate it completely, but this airless basketball could solve that issue. So the design, as you can see here, it have a lot of hexagon holes throughout the ball, and it's pretty much hollow inside. There's no rubber and stuff inside the ball. They still keep that 8-panel design and the groove or the channel throughout the ball, just like a typical traditional basketball. So Wilson claimed that this ball have the same weight and size and bounce as the traditional basketball. What's pretty cool that they work with domestic company to finalize these products. Wilson Lab work with General Latex, Dimension, and EOS. They produce this basketball. So the way this ball works, so instead of use a regular filament like your typical 3D printing, they use a powder instead. Then the laser come on top and basically just burn those powder into the shape of basketball, just layer by layer. At the beginning it's white, and then they send out to Dimension to to color it, to do the finish touch, turn into, as you see now, black. So a regular 3D printing can probably print the basketball, but it won't be bouncy, because if you're into a 3D printing, there's different type of filament, like the PLA, TPU, there are different flex filament. There's a harder flex, there's no flex, there's some soft flex. So the different type of material on it. And before this new technology, there was like the Wilson X connected basketball, which it have like chips so that it can track your shot and stuff. Was it Spalding Never Flat, which have like this kind of rubber to cover the valve so the air don't leak through that. And then before that, if you remember, there's Spalding Infusion that have a built-in pump. If your ball get flat, you just twisted the knob and just pump it real quick and you get. But I think those ball are discontinued. It didn't work out too well. So KJ Martin, he was interviewed with Sport Business Journal, and he say at the beginning it feel a little slippery to him, and then I guess he gave a feedback whatever to Wilson, and Wilson make the adjustment. So on his second take, he said the ball get better, more grip, and it's also bounce better. But to me, according to this clip, you can see it here, I feel like the ball bounce a little heavy, and it doesn't seem like it have that natural bounce to it, as if it have a very, very slight delay on the bounce. You gotta let me know if you can catch it. All right, so what are the benefits of this new technology basketball? So first thing, as what it's intended to design for, is no air. Like the name says, airless. So you're never going to have to put air on this ball again, and it's never going to be flat ever again. Secondly, I think it's gonna be more consistent in terms of quality builds. With traditional basketball, you have the human aspect and the machine aspect into it. Sometimes the human aspect of things, it doesn't have that consistency. Too much glue, less glue, bad material. The weight and the size, sometimes it tend to be a little off, you know, depending on the brand and the model of the basketball. And another thing, it could make the ball last longer, so depending on the material they use on the ball. With your typical basketball, it mixed with leather component, right? So it only lasts to a certain extent. With this new material, you know, depending on how they mix it, it could make it last a lot longer. And then another thing is the value output, the quantity output. So if there's a high demand, with the human aspect of things, sometimes it could get delayed, you know, find the right worker. And then, like, you know, as we saw during the pandemic, the factory shut down, so the worker couldn't go to work, so there's no basketball being produced. And, you know, with the machine, you know, if those things happen again, you never have to worry about it. It's just a machine, they just produce, right? And it can pump out as many as you want or as little as you want. And then also, it's good for research and development. Like, you can tweak or make adjustment right away and then able to mass produce afterward. It's just a matter of input the code into software, all right? So the biggest challenge for Wilson and the team is to find the right amount of mix to put into the formula to produce the basketball that feel naturally like the traditional basketball. And then also is, you know, to, I guess, encourage people to get used or to adapt to this new changes, right? As you guys probably know, that a lot of NBA player doesn't want to adapt to changes, especially when it comes to basketball. I think people on the street willing to, you know, adapt to these changes, as long as the price is not too high, they probably give it a try. What Wilson really need to do is to listen to general public feedback and then, you know, make the adjustment to that. But, you know, I am excited to see what's, you know, this future basketball going to bring, and if it's going to change the basketball game at all. Yeah, hopefully it's gonna come out soon to the public within a year or so. You know, I'm excited to get my hand on one. So definitely when I get it, I will let you guys know. So let me know what you think about this ball. Is people gonna adapt to this ball, and what do you want to see in this ball in terms like colorway or design from it? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Subscribe if you haven't done so, like the video if you want to. You don't want to, whatever, man. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Yeah, baby.